Welcome back in, everybody, to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be watching the College Football 26 official Dynasty Deep Dive, which EA uploaded earlier in the week. And, myself, just as many people are, very excited for College Football 26 to come out. Madden 26 too comes out in August. But College Football 26, we're only about a week away. Just pre-ordered the game. Very excited to play that early and to play it on the channel for everybody to watch and see. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, just reacting to the trailer and checking out all the new features.
Hey everybody, it's Kirk Herbstreit. Improvements to Dynasty and EA Sports College Football 26 are focused around adding authenticity to every Dynasty run, while also delivering on community feedback. For the first time ever, you can start your Dynasty by stepping into the role of one of over 300 authentic college football coaches.
Wow, just to get into that a little bit, so I'm going to pause this video a lot and go through stuff, but wow. This was something that I needed so badly in College Football 25, the fact that actual coaches weren't in the game yet, and to have them now, Ryan Day, Dan Lanning, James Franklin, and over 300 coaches being in the game, too. That's absolutely insane. And they also, I want to say they have coaching trees, too. So they have offensive and defensive coordinators. So that's awesome to see. Like Lane Kiffin being in the game, that is so cool. But, man, yeah, like I said, that's something I've really wanted in College Football 25. So I'm glad to see that they added it. And each coach, they have their own things, just like they do in Madden, their own coaching archetypes. So that's really just interesting to see.
Take. A new progression curve offers early career momentum with more sustained growth across a new level cap up to 100. Of course, no coach excels at everything, so hire coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses. And make sure to leverage your staff's active archetype perk to really accelerate your progression.
Alright, just going through it again, and wow. I really like, they added this both to Madden and College Football 26, more coaching customization. This has literally been needed for years. All they would usually have would be, like, the nice button-up shirt and then the jacket. And, like, they need to add more coaching customization, so when you make your own coaches, which is something I like to do a lot, like, since College Football 26 will have the real coaches, I'll probably end up using them. But at the same time, a lot of times when I'm playing Madden, and even when I was playing College Football 26, we have our own coach, and I just wish I could have customized them more, and it's so cool that they finally added this in addition to real coaches too, so more coaching customization. And then look at the new UI too. I know it's not crazy, but they somewhat made the advancing week more like Madden, looks like. And then yeah, you got the Independence Bowl, Kennesaw State, UCF. I like this a lot.
Of course, no coach excels at everything, so hire coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses, and make sure to...
Yeah, so I wanted to say I also like this part too. They kind of...
leverage...
We could just go into it more. Yeah, it's a little bit harder, and Recruiter isn't as good as it was before. It's also a little bit harder to actually move up throughout it if you are starting off with a smaller school like UCF. So I think that is really good because it's not supposed to be easy when you're starting with a small program. That's something that, they just have to improve upon. And when I'm doing my Dynasty in College Football 26, I want to be able to, I want it to be hard. I want it to take a couple of seasons for me to really get up there and be an elite coach or have an elite squad, because it's going to be hard to recruit players. You're going to get 1, 2, 3 stars, nothing crazy. So really like that.
It requires learning a new skill set. Preserve your Dynasty legacy with the all-new Trophy Room. Showcase every trophy, title, and individual award won throughout your coaching journey. And look ahead at what coveted hardware you still need to strive for.
As well.
The new College Football History feature serves as a college football history book and lets you compare your program to the all-time greats, adding a new dimension of legacy building to Dynasty.
All right, before we get down to the transfer portal, man, both of these I really wanted. So I guess we can start now. We'll start with the Trophy Room. Adding in the Trophy Room, oh my God, I love I love that so much. And then and I know a lot of people online were complaining that it's not like 3D, but who cares? At least we're getting a trophy room in itself. So now you'll be able to collect all of the trophies that you want. That's something really awesome. And then being able to see the history as well, seeing all the national championships. You can also see how your team did each year, I believe. That's absolutely amazing. I wanted that to be a feature in College Football 25 because I'm like, I can't even remember who won the national championship when we're playing future seasons. And I'm like, I wish I could keep track of that to see who ends up winning all these different and who ends up becoming like really a dynasty, like an Alabama type or something like that. Because there would be teams that would do really good for a couple of seasons, and I'm like, oh shit, did they win the national championship? And I was like, shit, I don't even remember who played in the national championship. So now, being able to keep a record of that is absolutely awesome. And more mascots in the game too. I've noticed that a lot. More mascots. That's awesome as well. It's just another kind of quality of life thing being added, but we'll get on to the transfer
dimension of legacy building to dynasty. We've revamped the transfer portal to create more realistic player movement, especially among the 4- and 5-star players. Now, from 2,000 up to 3,500 athletes can enter the portal each season, giving you fresh ways to build your roster year after year.
That actually makes sense.
New dynamic deal breakers are player expectations that evolve with their talent. That 3-star freshman who is happy with average facilities, if he's an All-American by junior year, he might be looking for top-tier amenities. And whether it's listed as a deal breaker or not, your most talented players may still demand playing time. Some coach abilities can impact dynamic deal breakers, providing strategic recruiting advantages. New dynamic dev traits have a bigger impact on player growth, along with more abilities across 59 total player archetypes for better variety among athletes. And skill group levels increase from 10 to 20, so progression feels more gradual and realistic.
Before we get on to recruiting, I just want to go back and check out some of this stuff again. And also, I need to talk about this new scoreboard because it literally looks better than some of the ones that they run in both college football and the NFL. It looks absolutely amazing. And that was definitely one thing with College Football 25. I didn't think the scoreboard was all that. It's nothing crazy. They were just kind of dipping their toe in the water and seeing what would stick and seeing what they would want to add in future seasons, in future years. But at the same time, look at this updated scoreboard. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks like an actual game is going on. Like I can imagine that being a real scoreboard for ESPN or something. Love it. And then the updated transfer portal too. Here you can see Avery Johnson, the Kansas State quarterback. Yep, Kansas State. There's a couple of other guys in there as well. And then the updated position. Now you have edge rushers instead of rush or right end or whatever. Now you have rush edge or right edge. That's absolutely awesome. And then they added more as well. Like will linebacker and stuff like that. See, that makes sense. And then just in general, having more players in the transfer portal, absolutely awesome to see. It's going to make it more so lower level schools can end up getting decent players through the transfer portal. And then even these higher end schools, you could get a great QB commit like Avery Johnson or something. I think that's really awesome. And then also if your player, ends up becoming good, say your 3-star ends up becoming like a decent player as time goes on, then he may end up transferring out if the amenities don't match up to his standards. And I feel like that happens all the time. There's not too much loyalty in college football. Transferring is always an option, so that's something that happens a lot in the actual college football scene as well. So I think that's perfectly great to add into College Football 26. I think that's really awesome. And it's going to kind of add to the immersion as well because it makes sense. So, and then just going through, this is all mostly the same. I do like how they have kind of like, you can see over here the logo and stuff. I think that's just kind of cool on the side. But looking at player progression, yeah, this is cool as well because you have like kind of dev traits being introduced now. You have star players, and then they each have their own kind of archetypes as well. That's awesome to see. I think that's really cool.
Recruiting visits now involve location-based costs. So the further a prospect lives from your campus, the more recruiting hours a visit costs. This simulates an authentic recruiting challenge faced by smaller programs who must focus locally, while powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create high-stakes showdowns when multiple schools are neck and neck for a coveted recruit, and team needs are now front and center on your prospect list, so you always know exactly where to focus your efforts. When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that depletes as they recover. And once it's empty, they can't bounce back until the offseason. New auto subs incorporate different wear and tear strategies, allowing you to customize substitution thresholds and better manage your team's long-term usage. Within custom conferences, the new protected opponents option ensures certain annual matchups, regardless of divisional changes. Preserve key rivalries like Michigan versus Ohio State every year with this feature, up to 2 protected opponents per team. New formation subs provide flexibility to assign players to specific alignments, adding ways to strategically exploit opponent team weaknesses. Take advantage of new position archetypes with up to 50 subs per team, with packages that persist season to season. With crossplay in Dynasty, build your college football empire with friends on any platform. Use the Enhanced Player Hub and new Members tab to effortlessly manage your Dynasty and stay connected. Pre-order the MVP bundle. Includes both EA Sports College Football 26 and Madden NFL 26 for Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5.
All right, anyways, we'll go back into it and look at some more of the stuff. I know there's also a, Dev Notes online as well, which I might check out in my spare time. But then just looking at recruiting, they've just made recruiting more realistic. A whole lot of aspects in the trailer show us this quality of life stuff, and they're making stuff more realistic, like the player progression and dynamic archetypes. The recruiting, like if the recruit is further away, then it's going to cost you more recruiting points. Like, that totally makes sense. I really like that. And just working on recruiting in general, because it's such an interesting thing in real life at this point that it's kind of hard to replicate in the game, but I feel like they've done a decent job at it, adding the motivations and stuff like that. Austin Dog, he looks like a dog. Travis Morrow, see, like getting a 1-star. This is who I'm about to get for my Dynasty. Travis Morrow, 1-star fucking right tackle. And then recruiting battles is something as well. You kind of had them in College Football 25, but they're at the point now where an actual recruiting battle will engage, and it's just a race to the finish line. I think that's absolutely awesome, and that happens in real life all the time too. So, and then having your team needs right up here, being able to see them, oh my god, that makes it so much easier. That's quality of life a million times over. I think that's absolutely awesome. So that's really cool as well. And then the wear and tear, yeah, like throughout the season, and then they have a career wear and tear. I wonder what happens, like if they run out of their career health. Like, do they just not play anymore? I don't really know, but that's pretty interesting to see as well. Wear and tear making a bigger impact. So you really don't want to send out a guy who's like a superstar if you're in the fourth quarter of a game that you have won, which totally makes sense, because, you know, who knows, his career might end. That would be crazy if they brought back career-ending injuries. Players' season's health is empty. They will no longer recover wear and tear. That makes sense. And there's Derek Moore as well for Michigan. And then they showed the auto subs as well, which is cool. And what else? Oh, yeah, the protected opponents aspect is really cool, because say you switch out of a conference and then you still want to end up having a rivalry game, like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Penn State, something like that. Or say, you know, you take Notre Dame and move them, and you still want them to have a rivalry game against, you know, whoever they usually play, which would make sense because they're an independent, so moving them somewhere else is what a lot of people like to do. You could still have them end up playing a protected opponent. I feel like that's really nice. It's not a feature that I've seen a lot of people really asking for, but it makes sense. And being able to switch divisions now still allows you to have those rivalry matchups. I think that's perfect. The formation subs is just like a nice aspect as well, being added in. And yeah, I don't have really too much else to say. The archetypes being much more important is very good as well. And then just having your coach like up here chilling on the title or like on the screen, it's good. And then I may actually be getting more into the online play as well for Dynasty because it looks like they've really updated it and they have cross-play. So that makes it really fun. And more mascots in the game. Man, College Football 26 just looks absolutely peak to me. Madden 26 looks really good as well. And I'm not usually one to support EA that much. You know, if they're not making a quality game, I don't think they should be supported. But at the same time, I feel like the improvements they've made are really good, and you can tell the team working on this really just like cares and puts like a lot of time and effort and motivation into it. And man, that I can't get over this new scoreboard. It looks absolutely amazing. And then also just having the customizable coaches as well. It's so good. But yeah, that's going to be the end of my reaction. I hope you guys all like this video, and I hope you guys are very excited for College Football 26. Like I said, it comes out in about a week from now. Yeah, about a week or so. The early access begins, so I will be playing it. You guys will see very soon what my Dynasty team is going to be, and yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. And yeah, see you all for College Football 26 and Madden 26 season coming very soon.